guards the bishop, but not the queen discovery, and Magnus Carlsen takes a 2-game lead. So, okay, big game here. I'm going to say that Fabiano is white. He's been on a roll with white. Definitely, it's where all of his games, all of the games that he's won in this match have come with white. So if Fabi can get the dub here, he can keep this thing close heading into bullet.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it definitely looks like a really important game because 8.5, 5.5 is pretty much at that exact point where I would call that, not acceptable to go into bullet. But he wins here, 7.5 to 6.5. I think that's perfectly fine. Obviously the pre-match prediction had Fabi's bullet being very, very decent in terms of comparing to Magnus, but this game is worth a lot more than just a single point.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. Well said. You got to keep this thing close. You definitely don't want to lose. I mean, obviously a 1 point deficit is way better than a 2-point deficit, but definitely don't go down by 3 if you're Fabi here.
Yeah, and so he's got the pieces that the white pieces. He's been doing the best with white so far. This is the opportunity. Can't be too happy with how he's taken some of these losses, but he's had all the chances. Like, we've seen double question mark moves from both of these players all over the place. So it has been a loose match. And to me, that always means there's chances for a comeback. It's not the type of match where one player has been dominating and it's like they feel unbeatable. You never get an opening advantage. You're never up on time. You never have an opportunity. There's been opportunities. That's not the issue here.
Totally agree. And that was the matchup that happened the last time these two guys played. Fabi didn't get a single win. Magnus Carlsen dominated. Now, Fabi doesn't want, participation trophies. He's not happy just because he won some games in this match. He wants to win it. At the same time, this has been close. This has been a close match, partly because, as you said, it's been a blunderful match. Lots of mistakes. And so who knows what bullet will have for us. Maybe we got a lot more ahead.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be the last 3+1 game. Top left of your screen, that match clock expiring, 20 seconds and ticking down, which is why Danny is already realizing that the bullet is what is going to start to matter here. But the players can't get too far ahead of themselves because we've been talking about how crucial this is. I think Magnus is in a position that he would find pretty comfortable. The bishop has found a nice square on f7. The knight is sort of taking care of the counterplay on the queen side here. Maybe b4 is an idea, but you have to keep building it up, and we see the knight ready to jump to b5.
Yeah, Magnus decides to take his eye off the b4 ball, but come into b5 here, which makes sense, because if you play b4, you might even just take it, and if the d4 square becomes open for business, then that's a good thing. So, yeah, Fabi has to pause and really think about what do you do in these positions where you've got multiple breaks to consider, but none of them look great.
Yeah, and well, actually, we see the rook going back to a1, so a little bit unusual there, but also the type of position where you can see that Fabi is looking for a break. He's calculating deep, and Magnus is playing, more like surface level moves, just kind of maneuvering the pieces, and Fabi's looking for something, and that's why Fabi's time is like 40 seconds lower, and Magnus is happy to, let him sit and do all the calculation work.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because Fabi really wants to win this game. He knows he has the white pieces, knows he needs to keep it close going into bullet, but trying to find the best move in a position where Magnus is just messing around with the knight. He's just like having a good time. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Here come the light squares.
Yes, they do. Well timed there, I think, with the change in structure, like g3, king g2, h4. And now f5 before white starts to maybe play h5, g4, just takes control over every side of the board. Magnus wants something.
Yeah, and it means you're kind of all in on the pawns you advance. So Fabi has to go for this h5 idea to kind of justify the pawns he moved in front of his king. But I think regardless of the best move the engine might say or not, I feel like the more this position opens up, the more it favors black. So yes, Magnus finds the best move, but I'm just looking at the light squares and the dangers that are coming to Fabiano's position.
Yep, and they're moments away. You can't play g4 to completely solidify everything. You'd love to. Yeah, it's also difficult to play knight e4 because the d3 pawn is always hanging or loose after you place a knight on d2. So because those two are not possible, the f pawn is looking like a target over the next couple moves, whether it's queen f6 and takes or queen f7 and takes, and then all of black's pieces start to activate, right? Knight d5, knight e6. Oof.
Whoa. Well, Fabi gets away with knight to d2. There must have been something they both calculated, because Magnus immediately responded, knowing he wanted better than taking the pawn, but he does take it this time. So, yeah, this is
10 seconds, less than 10. This is like a big problem. You can see the engine is favoring Magnus. He's in complete control here.
Yeah, and now he's spoiled for choice. He finds e4. There were multiple other moves that probably worked. Look at that. Fabi on the increment. This is not looking
c3 is
good.
hanging. f5 is hanging. Knight d5, knight e6. It's all crashing down because you could not take on e4.
Yeah. And black's position is as Yaz would say, black has the material and the compensation here.
Yep, that's exactly right. Not looking good at all. I mean, like every move you consider, there's always bishop f3, right? Like you can just play bishop f3 and there's damn near a mate coming next move.
Yeah, you could play bishop f3 too to just see if you can get Fabi to flag. Not that you need to do that, but at this point, there's just, oh my god, he made that move with 0.1 second. And he finally runs out of time. Magnus Carlsen gets the last 3-minute game to go his way, and with it takes a 3-game lead into the bullet.
Yeah, you know, Magnus just kind of finding his form there in those last couple of games. You know, the best players make it happen when it matters, and he's now up 3 points going into the 1+1